You're listening to the Quint's podcast.
The 2017 assault against a popular Malayalam actor who was allegedly abducted in a moving car in Kerala's Kochi continues to rock the state, with new evidence surfacing which may give it a fresh direction. And these allegations, which have been levelled by filmmaker Balachandra Kumar, come at a time when the trial case was nearing completion and the investigation in the prime accused, top Malayalam actor Dileep, coming to a close. The case also threw a shadow over the Malayalam film industry, which in the start supported the survivor but quickly moved to the Dileep camp. Even the powerful Association of Malayalam Movie Artists, or AMMA, which revoked Dileep's membership first, took him back. Over the years, there have been several twists and turns in the case, with the case dragging in the Kerala High Court for over 2 years, several key witnesses turning hostile, and the resignation of 2 public prosecutors. And these twists and turns in the case were also highlighted in the survivor's statement, who on 10 January this year revealed her identity for the first time. In a social media post, she said that, quote-unquote, "This has not been an easy journey. The journey from being a victim to becoming a survivor." So, what are these new startling allegations? Why are they important? And what will the police be looking for in the new probe? We discuss the fresh developments in the case with Dhanya, the editor-in-chief of the News Minute, who has been following the case from the start, and Nikhila, the Quint's South Bureau Chief. You're tuned in to The Big Story, the podcast where we dissect the headline-making news for you, and I'm your host, Himmat. To gain a better understanding of why the new allegations are significant, we will do a quick recap to get you familiar with the case. The survivor, a popular Malayalam actress, was allegedly abducted by a gang of men and then sexually assaulted in a moving car on 17 February 2017. The act was filmed by the perpetrators, who let her go after threatening to release the video if she went to the cops. The survivor states that she knew at least one of the men who assaulted her, who was later identified as Pulsar Suni. A history sheeter, Suni was often hired by popular actors as a driver. And 6 months into the investigation, the case took its biggest turn, with top Malayalam actor Dileep being linked to the case. Suni reportedly confessed to the cops that he conspired with Dileep, who had a personal vendetta against the survivor, and sought revenge from her. And during all of this, there was a huge standoff between the media and the Association of Malayalam Movie Artists, who at first stuck their neck out for both the survivor and Dileep, stating that they will support them both. However, when Dileep was arrested in July 2017 by the SIT, the industry felt silent. And this reaction from the industry was not surprising, according to Dhanya, the editor-in-chief of the News Minute, who has been following the case from the start. She weighs in on how important Dileep is to the Malayalam film industry and why his involvement in the case was so significant and shocking.
See, in Feb 2017, when the assault happened, everybody knew who was behind the assault because the survivor herself knew Pulsar Suni. He was arrested within 2 or 3 days. All the accomplices were arrested. Initially, the entire film industry reacted with shock. They said, "We are with her. No matter what happens, we will catch the perpetrators," etc., etc. Within a few days, the rumor started circulating that a popular actor was behind this whole thing. And then people started linking it with Dileep because the survivor had gone on record at some point of time saying that her chances in the industry are being hampered by a particular superstar. I'm not able to remember if she named Dileep in those interviews, but Dileep was getting linked to the incident in the media. And it was only I think in June that he was questioned. I specifically remember he was questioned on 28th July. On 29th July, the meeting of this Association of Malayalam Movie Artists, which is the biggest association of Malayalam actors, took place in Kochi, and they stuck their neck out for him. In that meeting, they had a huge standoff with the media, and they said that we will, both the survivor and Dileep are our children. We will treat them the same way. So from that meeting itself, everyone got an inkling as to how the Malayalam industry is going to react. Immediately, I think in 2 or 3 weeks, Dileep was arrested, and the industry just changed its tone. I mean, AMMA was forced to oust Dileep, or I think revoke suspension, revoke his membership. But the reactions pouring in were really disappointing. A lot of them would just refuse to talk about the case anymore because Dileep was an accused. There were many others who went ahead and slut shamed the survivor. Like I remember this actor called Salim Kumar had said that both the survivor and Pulsar Suni should take a lie detector test, then the whole case would be proved. Basically, he was hinting at consensual sex and shaming the survivor. So a lot of comments have come like that from the industry. But it is not surprising. Dileep is a powerful person. Like, for someone who's listening to this from outside Kerala, they must be wondering, why is Dileep so important to the industry that they would support him, though there is such a serious case. That's because Dileep is not merely an actor who is acting in his movies and going back home. He is a powerful a producer. He controls a lot of the theater system in Kerala and the film distribution system. So the industry itself is dependent on Dileep in many different ways, which is why they supported him. And over the years, we have seen how that association called AMMA and many of the big stars in Kerala have stood with Dileep. For example, in 2018 June, which is exactly 1 year after Dileep was arrested, this AMMA took him back into the organization. They said, we are revoking his suspension. This is when a charge sheet has been filed against him and the case is going on. So if AMMA believed that Dileep and the survivor were equal in front of their eyes, uh, then how did they just ignore the fact that there was a charge sheet against him and he was on trial? But they took him back. And time and again, we have seen them saying condescending things about a survivor. We have seen them, like, even the biggest stars, posing for pictures with Dileep, or saying all the best for his movies, or happy birthday, Dileep Chetta. So that narrative has been created that he has direct and indirect support in the industry, which has also angered a section of people. That why is the industry so hell bent on supporting him?
After spending 85 days in jail, Dileep was released on 3rd October on the condition that the actor does not influence any witnesses in any way. Now, throughout the investigation, there were three facts maintained. Number one, that Dileep and Pulsar Suni were merely acquaintances. Second, that there is only one copy of the sexual assault video, which Suni's lawyer reportedly handed over to the court. And third, the over 50 witnesses and their statements to the police and the court. And since Dileep walked out of jail in October 2017, several of the witnesses in the case have turned hostile, which include actors like Bhama, who was a survivor's friend, Edavela Babu, and Sagar Vincent. In total, 39 witnesses turned hostile. And the case was nearing a close until December 2021, when serious allegations leveled by filmmaker Balachandra Kumar moved it to a fresh direction. So, what are these allegations and why are they significant? Dhanya Rajendran says that if these allegations are true, then it goes against the main three facts of the case. For the benefit of our listeners, she goes over the allegations one by one and how they link back to the case.
So Balachandra Kumar claims that he's a friend of Dileep and that he was privy to certain conversations which were held in Dileep's house, and also that Dileep knew Pulsar Suni, who is the criminal who had executed the crime, the man who actually sexually assaulted the actor in that moving vehicle on Feb 17, 2017. So Balachandra Kumar's allegations have to be probed, which is what the Kerala police believes in. That's the reason why they approached the court saying that they will be doing a further investigation. They actually asked the court to stop the trial till the further investigation is completed. It's on the basis of that the court has asked them to give a report by the 20th of January. Now, we don't know if there is anything in Balachandra Kumar's allegations which can eventually help the primary case, which is to prove that there was a criminal conspiracy behind the sexual assault. What the police do hope to find is some more proof that Dileep did know Pulsar Suni. See, for example, there are a few people who were witnesses in court who said that they did see Pulsar Suni and Dileep together, but that may not be strong enough for the prosecution to prove that there was a criminal conspiracy. So, if there is some more proof which Balachandra Kumar can offer that Dileep did know Pulsar Suni well, then that strengthens the prosecution's case. But as of now, Balachandra Kumar has not indicated this. He is a witness, of course, who says that he has met a Pulsar Suni in Dileep's house in Alaba 2 months before the crime. The police will definitely be looking into mobile tower signals, etc., to see whether both of them were located in the same place at the same time. That is how they're going to corroborate it. The second part is a more serious allegations where Balachandra Kumar has said that Dileep has a copy of the sexual assault video. Now, for those who did not follow this case, what made this case much more sensitive is the fact that it was not just a matter of sexual assault, but the sexual assault was caught on camera. The one big question before the police, even when the crime happened, was that where are these visuals? Was there only one copy? This Pulsar Suni had handed over his telephone with the visuals to a lawyer, who immediately went to the Angamali Magistrate Court in Feb 2017 and handed over the phone. So officially, there is supposed to be only one version of this visual, which forensic testing has been done. Dileep has watched these visuals. The question now is there another set of visuals? And is that with the accused himself? Now, what Balachandra Kumar says is that he watched the visual in Dileep's house. He has watched it along with him, and there was a stranger who Balachandra Kumar terms as a VIP, who came and gave these visuals to Dileep. So the police is investigating who this VIP is and whether there is such a video. That's the second part of the investigation. The third part of the investigation is whether Dileep influenced witnesses. There was a witness called Sagar Vincent who used to work in the shop run by Dileep's wife, Kavya Madhavan, who's also an actor. She runs a clothing store called Lakshya in Kochi. So the police's case was that Pulsar Suni's friend Vijesh had come to the shop and handed over a parcel. Sagar Vincent was the witness who saw that. But when he went on trial, he changed his statement given before a magistrate and said that he did not remember any such meeting. Therefore, if the prosecution can also prove that there was some sort of a conspiracy where witnesses were involved, that could that could seriously harm Dileep's case. But as I said, all this is up in the air now. Whether Balachandra Kumar's allegations will actually help strengthen the prosecution's case really depends on what the police finds from now.
Dhanya Rajendra adds that while the allegations by Balachandra Kumar are serious, they will require a thorough forensic examination and depend on the police tracking down the quote-unquote VIP person who visited Dileep at his residence in 2017.
Well, first thing, we don't know if whatever Balachandra Kumar has released to the media is the final version of the audio tape, or whether he has more with him. If he does have more with him, or even the ones which he has submitted, it has to go through a forensic test, and the police will have to find more, because if the all that Balachandra Kumar has is the small uh, audio clips which he has produced before the media, then I don't think that that itself helps the police build a watertight case, because most of these clips are just like 10 seconds long or 15 seconds long. Therefore, the police has to build that case. And like I said, everything hinges on the fact whether they can find this strange person who had come with the visual, or who Balachandra Kumar alleges had come with the visual to Dileep's house.
Since the allegations by Balachandra Kumar surfaced, the survivor for the first time in 5 years revealed her identity to the public. In a statement, she wrote, and I quote, "This has not been an easy journey, the journey from being a victim to becoming a survivor." End quote. The statement goes on to state that there have been several attempts to silence her over the years. Here is how it goes. Quote, "For 5 years now, my name and my identity have been suppressed under the weight of the assault inflicted on me. Though I'm not the one who committed the crime, there have been many attempts to humiliate, silence, and isolate me." End quote. The statement went viral, and within a few hours, several Malayalam stars, including Prithvi Raj, Tovino Thomas, and Ben, came out in support of the survivor. However, support from the film fraternity also met with a lot of cynicism on social media, especially from the Women in Cinemas Collective, or WCC. WCC was formed in the backdrop of the case and includes actors and filmmakers who resigned from Amma in protest to their tone-deaf handling of the entire case. In their statement, WCC questioned the motive behind the repost by actors and producers who were previously mum on the case. They also specifically called out male actors, questioning whether they will now, quote-unquote, use their power and privilege to make workplaces fair and healthy. According to Nikhila Henry, the Quint South Bureau Chief, the reaction by the WCC is not surprising, given the very clear gender bias in the Malayalam film industry. She explains how the male actors have always called the shots, especially when it comes to the economics of the set.
Several women actresses have pointed out recently that women do not get the kind of attention that they need within the film industry. And by the basic issue that actresses have raised in the recent past, especially after the actresses sexual assault case came out, is that women's voice within the film industry is actually not heard. So like most film industries in the country, especially regional film industries, the male stars do have a say in, the kind of films which are to be produced, the kind of characters or roles which people would get. At the same time, women stars do not have that sort of a pull within the industry is the main allegation. But there were exceptions to this. Like, for instance, Dileep's first wife, and it is actually a discredit to refer to her as Dileep's first wife. But Manju Warrier was a star, a woman star who could get people to come to theatre just by her name. So there were exceptions, but the norm has been that in the film industry, it's the male stars who call the shot, not just in terms of the roles, but also the economics of the industry. The remuneration which the stars are supposed to get. So there is a common allegation that women stars get paid less when compared to their male leads. So these decisions are made primarily by male stars who are not just into acting but also into production, into direction, and gamut of roles is what I've heard from multiple people who are within the industry.
Two reactions that the film community were waiting for the most was that of superstars Mammootty and Mohanlal. And the spotlight was particularly on Mohanlal's reaction, which was a singular word, quote-unquote respect, because as president of Amma in 2019, he was the one who moved to reinstate Dileep to the organization. Nikhila points out that the unanswered questions among the community right now is whether Amma has changed its stance on the case and how the survivor coming forward will impact the industry.
The predominant feeling is that the stars, especially Mohanlal, held double standards when the case came out. So in 2017, when the women actors were trying to oust Dileep out of Amma, it was Mohanlal in 2018. It was Mohanlal who, under whom Dileep was reinstated into the body. So the question right now is whether Mohanlal has actually changed his stand towards Dileep. It's not a question of whether these actors, these superstars support the survivor or not. It is actually a question whether they have it is a question of whether they have actually opposed Dileep in any way. So the bulk of women stars in the film industry, in some way or the other, have supported Dileep. And at the same time, the bulk of male stars and also directors and producers have supported Dileep in some way or the other, either by giving him roles or being friendly with him. Because there was this photo op of Mohanlal, Mammootty, and several other male stars with Dileep, which gave the impression that they are friendly with him. So the message which they sent out was that everything is hunky-dory within the film industry. This was even when a section of women stars and lead women stars had said that their friend, their co-worker, was wronged by Dileep, that he conspired to get her raped and even get it filmed. So, given the heinous nature of the crime, the question is whether these superstars have actually seen the seriousness of the issue and acted accordingly. So, the question which they raised was basically whether superstars would stand in support of anybody who has committed a heinous crime, be it Dileep or be it anyone else. And when it comes to Dileep, why is it that they are taking a soft stand? So the recent support which they have given for the survivor, and since the very beginning, say stars like Mohanlal have said that we are with the survivor. So, but what does being with the survivor actually mean is what WCC is asking, I think, because being with the survivor also means bringing her justice. Being with the survivor also means putting the person or persons who put her in that situation behind bars. So has Amma or the superstars helped towards this? Is what WCC is asking, is what I think. And from whatever I have understood from women actresses and technicians within the film industry, it is a pertinent question which they are raising, because the bottom line is that they are demanding accountability from the superstars.
So, what happens next? The Kerala government, in light of the new allegations, has formed a new investigation team under ADG Srijit, and a new FIR has been filed against Dileep. The state government has also approached the Supreme Court seeking a 6-month extension to finish the trial. To stay with the story, follow the Quint on our social media handles. If you liked listening to this episode, please subscribe to The Big Story for episodic updates. We're available on Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, JioSaavn, and most of the other popular podcast streaming platforms. For other podcasts, please log on to the Quint website, and for any feedback, please shoot an email to podcast@thequint.com.
Thanks for listening. Log on to the Quint's website and check out our other podcasts.